Solve the system of equations graphically. 6x minus 2y minus 2 equals 0. X plus y minus 3 equals 0. To solve graphically, that means we need to graph the first line, graph the second line, and then see where they cross. So to graph the first line, what I'm going to do is get y by itself. So I'm going to start with the equation 6x minus 2y minus 2 equals 0. And then to isolate the y, I'm going to begin by subtracting 6x on both sides of the equation and adding 2 on both sides of the equation. This way, on the left-hand side, we are left with just negative 2y, and on the right, we've got negative 6x plus 2. Next up, divide both sides by negative 2 to get y alone. So we've got y equals 3x minus 1. This is a line whose slope is 3, or 3 over 1 if you want to think of it as a fraction, and whose y-intercept is negative 1. So we can see we've got a line whose y-intercept is negative 1 and whose slope is 3. So from this point we go up 3 and right 1. That's the first line. Our second line, let's try the same thing. X plus y minus 3 equals 0. I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides of the equation and add 3 on both sides. This way, on the left-hand side, everything except the y cancels out, and we've got y equals negative x plus 3. This is a line whose slope is negative 1, that's the coefficient of the x, or negative 1 over 1, and whose y-intercept is 3. So the y-intercept is 3, the slope is negative 1. So the y-intercept is 3, crosses at 3, and then from this point it goes down 1 and right 1. Now we want to see where these two intersect. And from our graph it looks like at 1 over and 2 up, so at 1 comma 2 is the point of intersection. So our solution to this system is 1, 2. Now because our graph may be inaccurate, we might have made mistakes, let's go through and check this. Take the first equation, 6x, our x value is 1, minus 2 times y, the y value is 2, minus 2 equals 0. Let's see if this works. We evaluate, we've got 6 minus 4 minus 2 equals 0, and this is true. So we know that this point is on the first line. Let's check the second line also. We've got x plus y minus 3 equals 0. In for x, I'm going to plug in 1. In for y, I'm going to plug in 2. And if we evaluate, we've got 3 minus 3 is 0. So we know that this point is on both lines, so the solution is 1 comma 2.